Hey everyone, so I'm going to be responding to Daniel Herter's question, or series of questions it looks like. Uh, the little back story about his question comes from the thread about nuclear deterrence, how mutually assured destruction worked. I think everyone's pretty clear on that, and everyone knows Russia's bad and America's good, right? So, how countries need to be convince their populations that they need to be dehumanized in order to essentially commit genocide against that country through the use of nuclear force. So his question is how that fits in with securitization from our last reading and what lessons we can draw today. If a country has one or more securitized issues, what does that make them more likely to be seen as a credible threat to deploy nuclear weapons? Since securitization follows unprecedented steps to be taken, I can see how nuclear war could be a logical end. This is again Daniel speaking. And does this paradigm apply to small countries searching for nuclear weapons like North Korea? Do we not fight them? Do we not directly fight them because of a nuclear threat or for a different reason? So I'm going to take these one by one and see if I can answer your questions the best that my 2 weeks of learning about this and has given me any good insight. So, first question is uh, how it fits in with securitization, what lessons we can draw. Countries one or more securitized issues, does that make them more likely to be seen as a credible threat to deploy nuclear weapons? I think this is a yes and no. Uh, if one of those securitized issues is a nuclear weapon, then sure, we can see them as potentially a credible threat. But again, France has nuclear weapons. Uh, we have other countries that we are aligned with positively that don't. I don't think we could call France a credible threat, and that's not a poor French joke. That is a we are allied with them. So just because nuclear threats are securitized, almost by definition, I don't think they're a credible threat as they stand. Uh, and next question: since securitization allows unprecedented steps to be taken, I can see how nuclear war would be a logical end. Does this paradigm apply to small countries searching for nuclear weapons like North Korea? Now, North Korea, that's an interesting choice to make because North Korea is a unique state in that um, they seem very unstable. They are unstable, but they seem where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Uh, if they're searching for nuclear weapons, does that make them a threat? I think absolutely, but that is a part of the regime and not necessarily because of nuclear weapons. I think any significant weapons force that North Korea has, uh, we're going to be keeping an eye on regardless of what they are, certainly if they're nuclear weapons. Um, and I think that can be seen in the fact that all the military bases we still have in South Korea and the mission that they're doing in South Korea uh, is in direct response to making sure North Korea is not doing something that they are doing. So I think broadly your question uh, can apply to small countries and probably will, considering most of those small countries will then be weak states or have regimes that could be violent or could use them in a way that the international community probably is not too thrilled about. Case in point, Pakistan versus India. Not exactly the most warm of relations. Both countries have nuclear capabilities. However, some have said, I think one of them has said that they won't do a first strike, but they will do retaliation. The other one is vice versa, that they're open to first response. So that's a difficult position to be in, but I think it goes state by state. But broadly, weak states are probably more likely to be securitized from the United States in this case for that very reason. Uh, do we not fight them because of a nuclear threat or for a different reason? I think we don't fight them because we know better, I guess, at this point. Korea round one gave us a good chance and a good idea between Korea, Vietnam, gave us an idea of what's to expect from out there, from fighting a protracted war, from fighting. I think there are other reasons, I think, to try and make this shorter. I think there are other reasons why we don't go, and I don't think nuclear threat is one of them, and I don't think a nuclear threat is particularly concerning from North Korea at this time. So, thank you for listening.